Hey guys, it's Asgard here, and today I'm going to be doing another The West tutorial. Today we're looking at number 6, which is towns. Towns and alliances. Both hugely important within your game, as they will be where you interact with other players, particularly in a friendly way. As you can see, as you look around the map, you have two types of villages. You have these ones, which are ghost towns. They aren't really good for much at all. Best to really just ignore them. You won't get much out of them. And these towns, sorry, not quests, that have a name above them and all nice and lit up. Obviously, they will vary greatly in size. This one, for example, is not as well built as this one, as you can see just by the cosmetic appearance of it. Alternatively, you can hover over it. It'll show you the name of the town, which you know already because it's floating above there. Show you a little town picture if they've got it. So a few towns will have it, a few won't. Show you how many town points. So the better the town, the more town points it has. Show you how many members. I will recommend joining a town that has a lot more members than one. Usually about 20 is a good number, especially for some new players. That means more players to give you support, help you out, that sort of thing. Underneath, it'll show you the rank that the town is, higher the better, obviously. Under that, it'll show you a few statistics to do with like forts and members and dueling levels and things like that. Wouldn't worry too much about that. Town points and members, most important of all. If you then click on the towns, I'm going to go to my town because much easier because I know my way around my town. Traders Outpost over here. If you are in a town, it's a lot easier just to click the town button at the bottom here. Alternatively, you can click on any town and it'll do the exact same thing. If you click on a strange town, it will show you this screen. At the top, you can click next to it, show town on map, and it'll move your map to the town. Click the one resident, it'll show you the resident, everything about them, the rank, the level, founder, blacksmith, adventurer. We'll talk about that later. And then you can click the little open and close thing, and it'll give you a little bit of information about the town. That one's very boring. My town's a lot more interesting. Then obviously in the main town screen you have all of these buildings. These are buildings you can build in your town. Towns with more points over here tend to have better buildings because they spent more time investing in their town, usually because they've got more residents than one. Hover over buildings, it'll show their levels. So you got the bank level 10, got the church level 12, town hall level 10, saloon level 1, tailor level 15, gunsmith level 20, general store level 15, hotel level 5, mortician level 1, sheriff level 5, cinema level 5, and the marketplace. And you also have this little signpost down the bottom here. Signpost, really useful, used for walking to the town in order to actually do stuff in that town. So always walk to the town just so you can actually do stuff in that town. I'm going to now go to my town because it's exactly the same, just I know that it's fully built and I'm actually in my town at the moment. So bank, if you open up the bank, a few things you can do here. You can put money in your bank, so transfer it from where it can be stolen by losing it in a duel or by dying during work, so running out of health points. You'll lose any cash you have. Anything in your bank account is kept until you withdraw it, basically, or you make a deposit. In order to make a deposit, you just type in how much you want to make a deposit, or click this button here to deposit it all, and then click deposit. You'll notice at the top I have fees of 4%. Because this is my own town, my fees are only 4%. If I was in someone else's town, fees would likely be 10%, for example, and I'd have to pay a lot more. So well worth just keeping your money until you get to your own town, shoving it in the bank then at much lower cost, which is one of the huge advantages of actually having a town. So then deposit it, I've now got no cash, and it's gone into my bank. Click turnovers, it'll show you where you're getting all your money from, where it's going out, etc. As you can see, I'm rich, rich, rich. Transfer money, I've never actually done this, but you can actually pay money to another player and tell them why you're paying the money. Transfer fee of 5%, so a little bit more than the bank account, but still not too bad. So you pay 5% of the amount you're going to pay them in order for it to be transferred. Then town treasury, where you can pay money into your town treasury in order to work on constructions and things. So that's the bank. Then have the church, very easy. There's just a praying activity there for 15 minutes. That gives you a bonus of +3 prayer. Then have the town hall, where everything interesting happens. It shows you the level of all of the buildings. So obviously our church is a little bit. Church can go up to level infinity, which is why it's never really completed. You can obviously click it, and you can build it from the town treasury, and you can build it for however long you want using some money, and you'll get experience, you'll get some money, and you'll get some motivation, and there's obviously motivation. So you can click start and it'll upgrade that building a little bit. Obviously you've got your labour points like you have in every job. Then click resident, shows you all the residents in the town. Green obviously active, yellow inactive for 2 days, red is inactive for a week. How many hours they've done in construction, how much they've put into town treasury. And then town log shows you what's actually happening in your town, so well worth keeping up to date with that. Saloon is just a saloon as we've seen before. Telegrams is just telegrams sending messages to other players down the bottom. Then your tailor, your gunsmith, and your general store, all hugely vital because they allow you to buy various belts and, well, any items that you may want to buy just to boost your stats. Well worth having a little flick through, working out what the best is. There doesn't tend to be great items here. Cheap, relatively cheap, but not brilliant. Going back to the town, then have the marketplace. We'll go into huge detail on the marketplace. This is just where you can buy items off other players or sell your items to other players, but they're obviously a lot better and a lot more expensive. You then have the theatre. You can watch short movies and you'll get rewards for it. That's pretty simple. Just click it and it'll watch a video. Click play. Sheriff's office, where you can place a bounty. So if someone's really annoying you, you can stick a bounty out and players can accept it. So you can click on it and you can duel them, and if you duel them and you win, you'll get the amount of money on the bounty, which is quite decent way of making money, obviously, or killing someone. Mortician is just some stats on some of your jewels and things. And finally, last but not least, is the hotel, where if you click on it, you can choose, obviously in your own town, all of them are free, but in another town, obviously, they'll cost increasingly amount of money. At level 5, they're all unlocked, so obviously, because they all take the same amount of time, you're going to get the biggest bonuses from sleeping in a luxury apartment. Great way of recovering your energy and health points, but usually it's energy. So if you're ever low on energy and you get to 0, just sleep in the luxury apartment and it'll top it straight back up again. Word of advice, if I were to sleep at the moment, I'm obviously sleeping at the moment, but if I was to start sleeping now, I can't get 134 energy points. So if I were to sleep now and then start jobs as I am afterwards, I can go to bed and I'll wake up in a couple of hours time and I'll be at the location with slightly less energy, because energy leaves your energy bar not when you start the job but when you queue the job. So always make sure when you start sleeping you're at 0 energy, and it's always well worth, as you're sleeping, just to shove one more job in there, just so that you make the most. You're never capped out at 100, because you will start losing energy at 100 because can't increase anymore. You can sleep in hotels, and that's pretty good. But if you look on the map, there are these things called forts. Blue ones are alliance forts. So if you click on those, they look like this. They're a little bit like towns. Click on it, you can go to the barracks, which is this building here, and you can sleep in the dormitory, which is 6-star hotel. Exactly the same as the luxury apartment, however, just 6 hours. So it saves you 2 hours, which is absolutely fantastic, because 2 hours is actually a decent amount of time and can earn you a fair amount of money. So well worth sleeping in the barracks, so long as it's fairly close to where you're going to be working and things. Last thing in the towns, hopefully, is the town forum. Obviously very easy, will vary from town to town, but always make sure you have a little look through, open up topics, reply, get in touch with some of your townmates, because they will hugely help you. A lot of the older players have junk equipment, as you can see that I have, that they'll be more than willing to give you, that will majorly help your development. In terms of invites, if you get an invite to a town, click this town button, and instead of popping up with your town, it'll show a little tab that says invites, and you just click tick to join the town you want, which I highly recommend doing as quickly as possible. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye guys.